Hey, what's up, my nerds?
I'm Air Bear.
And I'm Chasen, and you're just in time for your weekly dose of nerd news.
Clink. Today is Friday, March 24th, and this is what happened this week.
We're gonna jump right into movies. Zachary Levi, who plays Shazam.
Shazam!
That's right. Got for lightning. But he plays Shazam in the franchise. I was expecting you to say Shazam again. But you didn't.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. I don't want to beat a joke into the ground. We're just getting started with this. But he commented on why he thought Shazam 2 didn't perform as well as they may have liked. He mentioned that it more than likely had something to do with the marketing decisions. He mentioned that it didn't attract the kind of family audience that he thought that it should have. So, Fury of the Gods, which is the second installment, actually did 40% worse than the first installment. And maybe there's something to what he's saying. I don't know.
I am wondering, we haven't seen the movie.
No.
And I know that I saw the previews, and I felt a certain kind of way. Actually, no. No, I think I felt nothing. Couldn't care less? I couldn't care less.
Yeah.
After watching it. I probably could care less, but I just was like, I was unmoved after the previews, or after the trailer. So I'm wondering, because I do think, if the marketing made me feel that sort of way about the movie, like how much of that is actually just the movie? Is the movie actually that bad? And then we were also mentioning the other day, like how, even though they're not part of the same universe, they have the same audience, Ant-Man and Shazam.
Yeah. So how many people were burned by Ant-Man?
And then they were just like, the preview for Shazam, it seemed less interesting than the preview for Ant-Man. So, Shazam, maybe no.
Maybe a lesson learned.
Yeah.
Ant-Man. If you think it might not be that great based on the preview,
maybe it's not.
Maybe stay away. So,
yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
But for me, it's having all the extra kids in there.
Yeah, the ending of Shazam with all the kids getting powers. It was like, okay.
Yeah, and it made Shazam seem less special.
Yeah.
I don't really care for the title character seeming less special. Like, I'm okay with you having sidekicks, but if there are also people who have powers just like you, then why do I care about you?
Interesting point. Well, let's keep this going. More news on Shazam 2.
Shazam!
Thank you, Little Bear. Shazam 2 director David Sandberg went to Twitter and announced that he is done with superhero movies for the time being.
I wonder why.
One can only guess. But he mentioned that he's looking forward to getting back into the horror genre and maybe some other projects. So, take a sip of water on that one. Pour a little out for Mr. Sandberg. There we go. And Zack Snyder is bringing SnyderCon to the metropolitan Los Angeles area. Los Angeles Metropolitan? The places around Los Angeles, yeah?
Los Angeles Metropolitan.
Yeah, okay.
Seems more right.
It does, right?
Yeah.
So he's taking a weekend to show all 3 of his DC films. So that's going to include Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Justice League. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Justice League. But those are coming to select theaters in the Los Angeles area on the weekend of, bless you,
Thank you.
April 28th, 29th, and 30th. And it sounds like all of the proceeds are going to go to two foundations that are close to Zack Snyder's heart. That's the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention and the Autumn Snyder Tribute Fund. And Snyder himself is actually going to host the weekend of screenings in honor of his daughter, Autumn Snyder, who passed away at age 20. And attendees can expect not just the movies, but it sounds like a little event. So they're actually going to get a t-shirt that was designed by legendary comic book artist and DC chief creative officer, and publisher, Jim Lee. And they're going to have giveaways, posters, and an appearance from the Snyderverse's Batmobile.
Oh,
So,
cool.
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So it's going to be a whole little event. I want to say tickets start at $150
Oh, that's not
for
that bad.
for the event, and yeah. I wish I pulled those prices, but
I'm wondering if some of the actors are going to show up.
they probably will.
Yeah. Being that this is for his daughter.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
like
gonna
make
be
a
cool.
guest appearance.
Right.
Yeah.
Not like a special like surprise visit. Is that what you're thinking? Like just
Yeah.
show up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
So stay tuned. I think you may have called it. Stay tuned. Check it out. Once again, that's going to be the weekend of April 28th, 29th, and 30th. And the way that they're doing it is showing a movie per day. So 28th, they're going to show Man of Steel. 29th, 30th, the two other movies.
Out of those three movies, which one do you think is the best?
Out of those three movies,
Man of
I
Steel.
forgot Man of Steel existed.
Me too. I
Yeah,
didn't know
okay.
that Zack Snyder did that one.
I know, I forgot it existed.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't because, well, yeah, it was the first Henry Cavill Superman.
Yeah, I forgot that's where it got to start. I remember Batman v Superman because it was a big deal, and Batman v Superman. And the best one I'd probably say is Justice League. It's got the two flavors you can choose from. Now, right now, we're talking about Zack Snyder's cut, which is like 16 hours, I think.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy it the most, I'd say.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. That is Zack Snyder's cut.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be a long
They're gonna be there all day.
Sunday.
They're gonna be there all day. No going to church that day. That's
Man.
your butt will fall off from sitting for so long.
But I would say Batman.
I'm talking about Zack Snyder's cut.
Yeah, I did like his cut better. So maybe Zack Snyder's cut. Because Batman v Superman, I was confused during it. And I think it's because two of the characters have the same name. I think.
Two of the characters. Oh, okay.
And I got confused by the characters having the same name.
I
Because I
got
didn't
you.
know who they were talking about. And like I'm already like lost and confused and behind
Yeah.
in movies because my auditory processing skills are not my best attribute.
Not your strongest foot.
Yeah, not my strongest characteristic.
Yeah.
And so listening to all of that, and then it's like they just said in the same name twice. Mm-hmm. I think it's Martha.
Yeah.
I think.
It's Martha.
Like, aren't both of their mothers named Martha or
Yeah.
something? Okay.
Yep,
Yeah. I mean, that's not the only reason I was confused. But
Well, yeah. It's okay.
I just remember being confused.
at the names, because
Not just the names,
they're both moms.
but that's one thing I remember.
Yeah.
is being confused.
Well, no need to be confused about whether Good Burger is getting a sequel, because it is! The Good Burger sequel is finally happening, and it sounds like it's coming out later on this year, and Keenan and Kel are reprising their roles as Dexter and Ed.
Do you remember the line or that they said when
Yeah.
came up to the drive-thru?
Thank you for calling. This is Good Burger. Thank you for calling Good Burger. Can I have your order? Something like that. I need to watch it again. Do you remember it?
Welcome to Good Burger. I don't remember.
Okay.
Can I have your order?
I remember that. Can I have your order? Yeah. Maybe I'll edit this out.
I just remember something about Welcome to Good Burger.
Yeah. Yeah. Because why would you call Good Burger if you're at the drive-thru?
I don't remember if it was at the drive-thru or not.
I think it's at the drive-thru or... No, it's like when they step up to the register. Apparently I need to watch more Good Burger.
Okay.
Or all that. But I'm excited, nonetheless. So, yes, Good Burger 2 is happening. Kenan and Kel are coming back. And filming is going to start later on this year in May. And it should come out on Paramount Plus later on this year, 2023.
Oh, okay, so it's going straight to streaming. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, seems like a really good call. Really good call. Yeah. I like it. And it's kind of like a cult classic type deal.
Sure.
I mean, that's the thing about cult classics. You may not know about it, but they know about it.
I knew about Good Burger.
Anyway, Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves has come out with its final trailer, and it is set to release March 31st, so that's next Friday. If you are looking forward to it, take a look at the trailer because it's out now, and you can go watch that movie in theaters next week, Friday. Yeah. Thank you, Love Bear, for making sure I get to the end of that sentence.
What? It just sounded like you said that the trailer is coming out on the 31st.
All right, what's next? Ooh, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That's exactly right, Love Bear. Yes. So, man, it's like 90s Appalooza right now.
Appalooza.
So, Netflix's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always trailer has dropped. So if you're a fan of the original Power Rangers, be sure to check that out and get excited because the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always event or movie is being released on Netflix April 19th. So check out the trailer if you're excited about it. If you're not excited about it, but interested, check it out. It's pretty cool, and I know I'm looking forward to it.
I am not. I like watching the trailer, but
You're
probably not. Yeah, I'm fine with where I have ended my Power Rangers journey. Yes. But yeah, I would say one important thing to know before you watch the trailer is that the actress for the Yellow Ranger passed away a couple years ago.
Yep.
Because I did not know that, and I was very confused when I was watching the trailer. But also, we've already established that I get confused easily.
Yeah. But
you know.
Maybe you won't get confused, so.
Well, now they won't because I let them know the key bit of information that nobody told me.
Well, yeah. Hope that was helpful. Cool. Maybe you could rewatch it. Nah, I think you've seen it once and
I'm done.
You got that. Yeah. All right. We're done. Put that behind us. Moving on to TV news. Titans is about to air its 4th and final season of, well, the series, and the official trailer has dropped for that. So be sure to check that out. The episodes are scheduled to start airing April 13th, and they're going to run through May 11th on HBO Max. So check it out if you're interested. Trailer has already dropped. And Willow apparently may not be canceled after all. So I feel like apologies are in order. Sorry about that. It sounds like if you hear it from the showrunner, John Kasdan, well, he's claimed that neither he nor Lucasfilms plan on ending the show after this first season. The rumor may have started because the decision was made to release the main cast in order to pursue other opportunities over the next, well, year, it looks like. Production isn't scheduled to start over the next 12 months, but John mentioned that there's no reason for them, they don't foresee any reason for them not to pick up production after those 12 months. He just wanted to free up the actors to pursue other things in the meantime. So
I can probably think of some reasons not to pursue this show after the 12 months. But
go on.
well, yeah. One of the things I saw when this was originally released last week, as far as the show being canceled, is that it did not do very well. And they hypothesized that may be due to the fact that it was up against two giants in the same genre. It was going up against, I think, Lord of the Rings, because the genre is fantasy, or I guess high fantasy. So it was up against Lord of the Rings, the Lord of the Rings show that came out last.
Rings of Power?
Yes. And it was also, sorry, it was also against
Game of Thrones?
Yep, the Game of Thrones.
That may be why they suspended it for 12 months, to kind of let
those two
the
shows.
Rings of Power and Game of Thrones do their thing, and then just come back at it, see how things look after a year.
Don't think it's going to get much better. I didn't watch the show, but I also had no desire to watch the show.
You didn't watch any of those shows?
No, but I do want to watch the Lord of the Rings show.
Yeah.
We just don't have Amazon Prime. And the Game of Thrones show, I would watch it if I could watch rated R things. So
That's true.
They're both things that I would watch if I could. Willow is not.
There we go. And that's it for TV news. Let's move on to event news. Looks like actor Lance Reddick has passed away at the age of 60. He's best known for his role in The Wire, but he was also known for his, quite a few things. So as far as movies, the John Wick franchise, and Angel Has Fallen, and Godzilla vs. Kong. And in TV, he was in shows I keep saying that, in shows like Fringe, but he was in Fringe.
Like is a filler word. It's become a filler word,
Yeah.
when you're trying to think of what word comes next. It's a word that just fills the gap.
But it seems like it seems like that will be appropriate in other situations. Like, I like food. I mean, food that's like pizza. No, I guess that doesn't work either. Well, in any case,
Those in shows such as Fringe.
There we go. Okay, yes, such as. I'm trying to use such as and like. No, not gonna work. Anyway, he was in Fringe. Okay. He was in Oz, Bosch, and Lost. He was also in video games as a voice actor. Destiny 2, Horizon, Quantum Break, and John Wick Hex. And that's not all. There's also an unreleased project in the works.
John Wick, the movie John Wick, the game. Okay.
Oh. I didn't get that either. Well, anyway. He is also in an unreleased project with Disney Plus, playing the Greek god Zeus in an upcoming Percy Jackson and the Olympians series.
And I am interested, I hadn't heard about the series until you mentioned this. And one, I'm hoping that he finished his role.
Yeah.
Or was able to finish his role. Two, I want to know more about this because, because I was thinking, wait a second, is it Perseus? Is it just like redoing the Greek gods?
Mm-hmm.
Or are we talking about the book? And it's Percy Jackson,
Percy
so
Jackson.
it's the book. And it's a series. So, and I've read all the books in that series.
Have we?
I have. You didn't finish.
You're thinking of I Am Number 4.
I am.
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay. Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
I have not read all the books in that series. We have read like 3.5 books in that series. We stopped at something about a labyrinth.
Yeah.
I
I
got
think that
stuck
may
in
have
the
been like
maze.
number 4 or 5.
Oh.
But yeah.
Okay.
We haven't finished it yet.
Yes, we haven't. But I looked him up, Lance Reddick. I looked him up from, like, I wanted to see who he played in Lost.
Mm-hmm.
And it was an employee. Nobody's going to remember this because I didn't remember it until I saw him and was like, or until I saw him in Lost. And I was like, oh yeah. So he was kind of like a background character,
Mm-hmm.
but he kept showing up different places because of how Lost operated. But he was an employee of some, I think the same guy who originally employed, oh, what's his name? Who was like, well, they all went to Australia. That's how the whole thing got
Charlie?
started. No, not Charlie.
No.
The old guy who was in a wheelchair and he got onto the island. He's the
John?
only one. Yes.
Okay.
I think he.
John.
Yes, John. I think John and
Lance Reddick's character?
Lance Reddick's character both worked for the same guy. I think. I may be completely wrong.
Google Lance Reddick Lost, and maybe a picture will jog your memory if you're not sure. I know that's what happened to you. As soon as you saw the picture, you're like, oh. So that was pretty cool. Justin Roiland issues a statement as domestic violence charges against him
Wait
are
a
dropped.
second. Who is Justin Roiland?
Well, what bear? I'll tell you right now. And I'll tell you all as well. Justin Roiland is probably better known as the voice actor and co-creator of Rick and Morty, and was involved in other projects. Before the domestic charges against him were,
Filed?
yes, filed. But a representative with the Orange County District Attorney's Office, which originally filed the charges, had this to say about why the charges were dropped. We did not have sufficient evidence to prove the case beyond reasonable doubt, and that additional information came to light during the investigation. After charges came to light, a number of companies cut ties with Roiland, including Adult Swim, cutting ties with him as far as his voice acting role with Rick and Morty. And Roiland actually tweeted after the charges were dropped, this to say, now that the legal case has ended, I'm determined to move forward and focus both on my creative projects and restoring my good name.
So, does anyone remember Johnny Depp and what happened to him? It wasn't good. He was, he went through a whole, and that might be a lot worse than this, because this seems like, if, based on my limited knowledge from being on a, what was that, major jury, a
grand jury?
A grand jury. From my limited knowledge from being on the grand jury, sounds like this didn't actually go to court yet. Like, they just brought it before the grand jury, and the grand jury has to decide, is there enough
to prosecute.
Yeah, to prosecute. So anywho, maybe. Anyway, so anywho, because this wasn't, and because he's not as high profile as Johnny Depp, I wonder if it will have the same ramifications or the same effect as Johnny Depp's court case against him. Are you aware of Johnny Depp's court case that he had? Okay.
I mean, it actually went to court, and therefore a lot of things were aired out in court. So that was worse.
Yeah. But afterward, like, Disney cut ties with him, and he had Pirates of the Caribbean, and that was a pretty major thing. Even though they're still using, I saw this in an article the other day, they're still using his image in their marketing though. But they won't use him. in anything. So anywho, hopefully he will have more success after this than Johnny Depp seems to be having.
And restoring his good name.
Yeah. I'm also thinking of that other guy. Is it Alec Baldwin?
Alec Baldwin is a guy, and he's been involved in some things.
The one who, he had a prop gun.
Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin. He had a prop gun on a set of a Western movie, and he accidentally shot somebody, like
on the set.
Yeah, somebody on the set,
Yeah.
like a behind the scenes person. So anyhow, things like that. It's like, will your career ever be the same? I mean, even if you weren't actually guilty of doing anything, as part of the drawback of being someone who is so much in the public eye.
Yeah. And I mean, so what I noticed when we reported it last week was, and this may just be people trying to save face or explain away why they were doing business with someone, but it seemed like I got the feeling they were ready to cut ties with him, because in the articles they went on to say that when people interacted with him, it wasn't great, and he didn't spend a lot of time like actually working on the projects. And it seemed like, I don't know if they were just putting this in there because they were like, let's just throw him out with the bathwater.
Yeah, throw him under the bus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's always been a bad guy.
Right.
We never trusted him.
So
Well, you worked with him for a really long time.
I'm not sure where to go with this, but hopefully lessons are learned as far as public or the public's view of somebody and condemning someone, whether condemning someone before the courts are even called to session. I don't know how much of that's taking place or what his personal life is like. I know I like the show. And yeah, interesting stuff.
Yep.
So hopefully the truth comes to light and he can get on with his life. Yeah. And whoever the victim, or I guess that wasn't a victim because this crime wasn't committed, I guess, but whoever that person is, I hope they're doing okay too. Anywho, in more event news, Sam Neill, also known as Dr. Alan Grant from Jurassic Park, Jurassic World.
That guy.
Yeah.
I did it with 2 hands. It's supposed to be 1.
And try it again. You're supposed to turn my head now.
What, turn your head?
Uh-huh.
Oh. You can continue on.
Nice, okay, cool. You nailed it, Love Bear. Dr. Alan Grant reveals that he's in treatment for stage 3 blood cancer. The 75-year-old actor shared this news in his upcoming memoir, which is entitled, Did I Ever Tell You This? It's set to release Tuesday, and he actually started writing the stories from his life as a way to pass the time while he was getting treatment, and Sam Neill actually had this to say. I never had any intention to write a book, but as I went on and kept writing, I realized that it was actually sort of giving me a reason to live, and I would go to bed thinking, I'll write about that tomorrow. That'll entertain me. And it was a lifesaver, really, because I couldn't have gone through that with nothing to do. So, pretty interesting start to the story. Hopefully he's getting better, getting the treatment that he needs. And like I said, you can check out his memoir Tuesday.
I'm wondering if he was sick while he was recording the last movie.
Lost World Extinction, I think was the name of it.
I don't remember.
The last one.
The Great One.
And a new Hobbit Illustrated Edition is coming out with 50 or more than 50 sketches, drawings, paintings from Tolkien himself. And that is set to release on Amazon September 19th. So you can order your copy then.
I'm wondering if it's going to be similar to the Harry Potter Illustrated Edition, but being that it's illustrations from Tolkien, and the other ones were Jim Kay. I think it's Jim Kay.
I think you're right.
I don't know if it's going to be the same. Because this seems like it's more just drawings and illustrations that kind of go along with what he already wrote.
Yeah.
Not like Jim Kay's version where it's like, I am illustrating this book, not providing supplemental stuff.
I'm interested to see it, if nothing else.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So in gaming news, Resident Evil 4, or the remake of Resident Evil 4, is releasing, well, today. So if you're a fan, be sure to check that out. And Elden Ring has been in the news quite a lot for an Game of the Year. And one thing that it's known for is its harsh difficulty. And I think this next fact will just kind of bring that home. Elden Ring has claimed over 9 billion in-game deaths. Yes, that's billion with a B. That's more than there are people in the world. And this is interesting tidbit. 69% of those are from enemies, non-playable characters, and boss battles, and 14% is from falling.
How much do you think you contributed to falling? Rolling off of a cliff, trying to roll away from an enemy.
At least a million. At least a million. Okay.
And like with Elden Ring, you lose all your stuff every time you die.
It's not great.
Or how many of those were that guy? The red guy that was in the
oh yeah.
That was in the house.
That
was just hanging out.
Was just chilling in their den, which I guess turned out to be a killing room.
Yeah.
But yeah, over 9 billion in-game deaths, 14% from falling. What? I get it. I don't know why I'm acting so dumbstruck, because I fall a lot. Dumb self strikes the ground. It's terrible.
Or the times that you hope that you could make it. That the fall wasn't
bad enough. It's like, oh, I can see. That's not that far. Yeah, no, it's not good. It's not good. Elden Ring, man. Okay, well, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans, listen up. The comic The Last Ronin is set to be adapted as a game that is inspired by God of War. And for those who aren't familiar with The Last Ronin comic, it's set in a world where Michelangelo is the last Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, and he fights with his fallen brother's weapons. So it sounds like a really interesting story. It's him going up against the remainder of, well, Shredder's forces, the Foot Clan. So the company behind the comic, they stated that they found the right studio to bring this vision to light. They just haven't announced who that studio is. And in the meantime, fans of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles can look forward to, oh man, can't remember the guy's name. He played Green Hornet. Seth Rogen. They can look for, I need to write this stuff down, but they can look forward to Seth Rogen's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie to be released on August 4th of this year, while you're waiting on The Last Ronin. Hey, you might also want to pick up the comic to brush up on the story. Sounds like a really cool one.
Yeah, it does.
And last piece for gaming news, Gollum, the Lord of the Rings video game,
that we said was going to be released somewhere between next month or the end of the year.
Well, they've decided after apparently a quite a few delays that it's going to be released in May of this year. So that's May 25th, 2023. If you haven't checked it out, be sure to look up the official trailer for the game. See if you're interested in that.
I hope it's better than the last trailer we saw.
And it said that it had a new trailer, but I couldn't find it. It linked to what seemed like the same trailer. So maybe you have better luck than I will. But it looks like we're moving on to movie releases for the upcoming week. That's from today till next Friday. So looks like Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves is releasing March 31st. I mentioned that earlier today in the video. But if you're excited, remember that trailer has dropped, the final trailer, so be sure to check that out before you head to the theaters. Or don't, like me. I'm not going to watch it. I am going to watch the movie, not the trailer. I already know I want to watch it. Looks like we don't have any TV shows being released. So, that's it. Hey, if you enjoyed this episode, what is wrong with you? No, I'm just kidding. If you enjoyed it, give us a like, give us a thumbs up.
We did things a little bit differently this time.
We did. Let us know what you thought about it using kind words in the comments below. And
words that don't rhyme with suck.
That would be preferable. And hey, we'll catch you next week for even more nerdiness. Maybe. Now that I've said that, I hope we don't have less news next time. But we'll catch you next week for more nerdiness. Thanks for watching. I'm Jason.
And I'm Air Bear.
See ya.
Clink.
It's empty. I'm not going to pretend.
You said you
There was a
weren't
little
gonna
bit in
pretend.
there. There was a little bit in there. There was a little bit of the poison. I thought it was empty, but I was wrong. Now it's empty.